I kind of just want to get right into like what we've been playing. Today, I've been in the background. I've been creeping. I've been sneaking around. I've been playing The Last of Us.
I saw that.
Yeah.
And I beat it today.
Oh,
fantastic.
Shit, okay.
All right.
Now, Tavin, you can shut the fuck up whenever he says...
Still got fucking Resident Evil 4 and what's the one you like?
No. Now you can no longer, when he says, this is one of my ex-favorite voice performances or character
he's
performances.
played it. You've seen it.
Now
you can't do your
lording.
I had already seen it. I already heard Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson.
But you have to play those
game.
characters. You have to feel them.
Bill, what'd you think of The Last of Us?
Like I've always said, I like The Last of Us. It's never been a case of me not liking it. I just hate how much Tavin won't shut up about it.
I just wanted his own game. Like, did he like the game?
I did like it. But like, I like I was getting the itch to like rewatch the show.
Yeah.
In the middle of me watching it. And I think I got to episode 4 in the show in the terms of me playing. Because then it got to a point where like I was in the game and I was like, I can't really have anything on in the background. I gotta be like in the game. Because like
having Last of Us on in the background while playing Last of Us. It would be a wild thing to do.
It's very much like the antithesis of a podcast game, It's
oh yeah, gotta focus, gotta pay attention.
Yeah, because like there's a lot of they got like the listening mechanic.
Yeah,
where like you gotta listen for stuff, and I would try to figure it out. I don't know if it's just like a audio balancing issue on my computer. I opened my sound control panel and everything. It was just so much quieter than anything else I would have going through my computer. And I tried to like crank the volume and everything, and it just was not loud enough. So I was like, fuck it, I can't have anything else on in the background. I have to just lock in on this adventure through the United States with Joel and Ellie here.
Yeah. I was facing not the sound balancing, but I was facing a similar thing earlier this year when I was playing The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, where I was like, man, there's long stretches of gameplay here that would be nice if I could listen to a podcast, but like you're always picking up a note and you're always listening to characters talk to each other or talk to themselves sometimes, or you've always got to be like audio wise paying attention to your surroundings in both those games. So yeah.
I don't have this problem because I always stay focused in on the game itself. I don't let podcasts distract me from talking about and playing my favorite video game.
Listen, it's just that some games don't require your attention 100% of the time. And sometimes you don't want to give just the video game attention 100% of the time. Some games have a lot of bloat, like say just pulling it out of the hat, randomly, no prior thoughts to it prior to this. Yakuza 0, for example, has a lot of bloat in it, and a lot of times where I'm just kind of going through the motions of the video game and not necessarily enjoying it 100%. So I'm doing something else on the side to maximize enjoyment. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't, as a matter of fact.
For me, if when I'm having the other stuff on in the background, it's when I'm like collectible hunting or just doing whatever side content is in the game.
Yeah, it's almost never, or if something gets grindy or something. Persona is a great example. When you're going through Persona dungeons and so forth, that's a great example of fuck it, podcast in the background, because you're just fighting shadows and running down hallways, so it's just like I don't really have to pay attention during the part.
When it comes to that, I just like being in the groove of just swiftly navigating, particularly with Persona 3, and I'm assuming it would be the case for Persona 4 as well, where you're not really having to deal with the level like design of something like Persona 5, but rather just procedurally generated dungeons that are just fun to run through.
Well, 5 has that too, with Mementos.
Yeah, but
all the underground stuff.
Main game, that's where I'm different.
Yeah, I suppose. Things. Yeah. But even then, like, except for when they turn the puzzles on in Persona 5, you're just going through environments. Like, this one is not randomly generated; it's crafted, and it's just as whatever, But yeah, I like throwing a podcast on, or some music, or something over to the side to where like I can use my other senses while I'm playing the video.
Like softcore
it's always
porn.
Like we call okay, Connor. We call it a podcast game, but it's like it's not necessarily just podcast. Sometimes it's like a video essay, or like whatever like TV show I want to catch up on.
The TV I can't do, or I haven't tried that hard. But when I have tried, it's just because I want to pay attention to I got to look at it, Whereas, podcasts or video essays are purely audio. So for the most part, purely audio. So I can just kind of have it on. But with TV, I don't understand the TV. I would not be paying attention.
Oh, really? I mean, it's mostly just if it is a TV show that I choose, like it's like a okay, this might be a little crazy, but I'll throw on the audio. Like some shows have like the audio description ones for like people that are blind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll throw that on. So like,
damn, you want some kind of
it's almost like listening to an audiobook.
Interesting. Not thought to do that. Probably won't, but that's an interesting thought to have.
The workaround.
But I'd say a good 80% of the time it's a show that I've already seen. I've already watched the show. It's a show that I'm rewatching because the streaming capabilities that we have at our fingertips nowadays encourage not exploring out of our comfort zone, and it's more, hey, that show you've seen 3,000 other times, why don't you watch it again?
Yeah. I do remember during the pandemic times, it must have been when I was playing Doom Eternal, which is not really a podcast game, so I don't know why I was doing it to that game, but I guess I was. Something else I was playing. KOTOR, yeah. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I was playing some game, and I was working my way through the audiobooks of Harry Potter at the same time. That was a good time. Can't remember what game.
I remember you saying something at one point doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't.
I feel like it was Doom Eternal, but that doesn't make a lot of sense. Also, it's a very calm British voice talking here. And then, juxtaposing that with just fucking murdering demons and slaughtering beings of the dimension of hell, like that's a weird juxtaposition to have.
Maybe it was Death Stranding.
I love the did you put your name in the goblet of fire? Dumbledore said.
Funny translation.
Very funny. Have y'all been playing anything recently?
I've been playing a couple of things, Phil. I've been dibbling dabbling. Haven't been playing as much as I would have liked to because, of course, I just came back from vacation. So not all my vacation time was spent on gaming.
You went to a Metallica concert.
I did go to a Metallica concert. It was an absolute blast. And but I took my PlayStation Portal with me. And for the most part, the majority of my time, I've been spending playing Persona 3 Reload. Kind of catching up on that, putting in some work on that. I think I've put somewhere around 15 hours into it over the last week and a half or so, and I'm having a really good time with it, man. It's just a reminder to me that Persona is just kind of my favorite turn-based combat series out there. I was playing Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, but that just put me in the mood for Persona, so I jumped into Persona and did that. But also, haven't really talked to either of you about this. Well, you a little bit, but not a whole lot. And it's not something I see myself continuing in the immediate future, but something I do want to get back to at some point is I've been playing Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, I'm still very much in the early game. Connor, you're aware of this. There's an early death that happens. Haven't reached that death at this point in the game yet. So still kind of working my way through.
I've loaded that game up once.
Yeah, still working my way through the early hours of that game. And let me tell you what, because it was one of the first games to come out when we started this podcast, and we kind of put it through the ringer as it rightfully should have been on release on PlayStation 4 because it ran like garbage.
I couldn't play it.
It was just unplayable. Yeah, it was terrible. And I'm having a not a flawless experience now. There's still occasional glitches and things that happen, but nothing to the level that we were seeing back in the day. Totally workable game. The glitches I have seen are totally passable. It's an NPC will pop in every once in a while. A texture will take a little while to load or something like that. But sometime every once in a while I've had to double input a thing for opening the menu or whatever. But not intrusive at all. Doesn't really break my immersion at all. Much better state of game. And so I've been playing it and playing around with it. One thing that didn't read to me when we played it in its original state is how much of a game or how much of a GTA game this is.
Yeah.
The game plays and feels like a first person Grand Theft Auto game. With it's like if Grand Theft Auto met Fallout. And I'm like, oh, well, this is great. I'm having a great time playing this. This is really fun. The gunplay is solid to pretty good. The systems are fun to interact with. I like the dialogue. It's not really a podcast game unless you want to go on like a murder spree, which is what I was doing. I went on a couple of murder sprees.
Are you a Nomad, Street Kid, or Corpo?
I'm a street kid.
I chose Nomad.
So did I.
So I'm running around in the inner city streets and talking stuff. But the beginning of the game is not. Beginning of the game is the same no matter what path you choose, right?
No, it's different. That's the whole thing.
Is it different?
Like the Nomad, you start out on
different. There's a different beginning for each path.
Like in the Nomad, you have to get into the city. That's kind of the whole thing.
Oh,
you start out in like near a radio tower, I believe.
So it's just the immediate probably the immediate how you meet the Jackie character.
Yeah,
you meet Jackie.
Okay, so it's it's like 15 minutes of difference, not even like 10-minute difference.
Sure.
Yeah, I remember when the game came out and I chose Nomad and played through it. I looked at the other ones. Like the street one, you get beat up mutually, and then you both kind of like bond from that experience.
Yeah.
It's like, in the Nomad one, you're trying to smuggle an iguana into the city.
Yeah,
like an actual one, I believe. That was the whole bit
it's
about
an actual iguana. Yeah.
And then the corporate one, you're I think like betraying the company. Like you're in the process of doing that.
Interesting.
I think
the street kid is you get hired to steal a car, but it's a setup, and both you and Jackie both get hired to do it, and you both get caught, and so the cops are corrupt, so they just kind of give you a rough housing and then dump you back onto the street, and then it's a montage, which I assume the montage is the same for everybody.
The montage is the same for everybody.
Yeah, you and Jackie just going out and doing bonding.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cyberpunk 2077. It's a good game now. It's worth playing now. If you want to play it, play it.
A good ending.
Well, I don't know if it'll be a good ending. Tavin will have to tell us when he inevitably beats it.
At some point, I don't know. Because we've got to get to work on Banjo-Kazooie. We got to start putting in some time on that. Concord is in a couple of days, already released by the time you hear this. And then what else is coming out? Black Myth Wukong, but I think you guys
is
are
out tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not playing that. I think are you playing that?
I never said I was.
Yeah, I know. You conveniently did not respond to my text of who is reviewing what on that.
I never did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to review.
Okay. All right, Phil, that one's your game, I guess. There we go.
I got it.
Something else is coming out, but then right around the corner, we got Astrobot coming really soon. We got
Space Marine 2.
Plucky Squire coming really soon. Warhammer's coming really soon. The game release season is here. So I no longer have time to play random games from 4 years ago. I got to play games from this year and this year alone, at least up until probably December.